Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are doing a, pardon my clump of clothes, but we are doing a haul for the upcoming Alphalete launch. So they're launching a new seamless collection, which is why I felt like this definitely needed a review, so I could compare these to, you know, the Amplifys, the Revivals, the Halos, answer all your questions. So this is happening on Saturday, July 9th at 12 p.m. CST, and it's a pretty small launch. They have a couple new items in this new recycled seamless material, so totally new fabric, as well as some tees and, oh my gosh, and some fun slides. How exciting. I've never had a pair of slides that I liked, so I was excited about these. If you're new here, my name is Catherine. I do a lot of very in-depth activewear reviews, and I do have a discount code with Alphalete, so you get 10% off with code Catherine. They recently changed it to a discount code because I always appreciate when you guys use my codes, but now you guys get a little discount in return. I'm also excited to see some summery colors in this launch. So I guess we did have Here Comes the Sun, which was really bright and fun, but those were ombre colors. So we have some solids. We have this beautiful dandelion color, pistachio, which is this nice green. I believe this is lavender, but just a nice little dusty purple. And then they also have some more colors that kind of more screamed fall to me, but then I also got this little dark aqua blue. And now, of course, the most important part, squat tests. I'll insert the double squat tests of every color. I don't think that this material is like the best for squat proofness. Did I still wear them to the gym? Yeah. Without further ado, let's start talking about the new Ozone Seamless. So they have quite the description for the Ozone Seamless. It's constructed using a tri-blend of recycled Prueco, I don't really know how to say that, standard certified nylon. So all of the recycled material ozone pieces have this little Prueco recycled nylon certification, so you know it is from recycled materials. So I believe this is Alphalete's first try at a recycled material, more sustainable legging. It also says it's a high performance nylon 56, as well as South Korea's elite spandex offering, Kriora. I don't know too much about fabrics, but if that means anything to you, there it is. But it is a recycled nylon spandex blend. And the pieces are also made with a more sustainable process that provides up to 58% savings in water consumption, 80% savings in energy expenditure, and a 76% decrease in carbon dioxide emissions. I'm not sure what these standards are compared to other recycled fabrics, but definitely sounds like at least a little more sustainable than their normal materials. So the big question everyone's asking me is, does this feel like the Revivals? Does it feel like the Halos? So the Amplify, the Revivals, and the Halos are all a pretty similar material. Amplifys and Revivals are actually the exact same material composition. They're a 51% polyamide, 38% polyester, 11% elastane. And the new Halos are slightly different. They were 52% polyamide, 41% polyester, 7% elastane. And that kind of made sense to me because they kind of felt similar to the Amplifys and everything, but they had a little less stretch to them. And it just makes sense because there is less elastane in them. Although the Amplifys and Revivals had the exact same fabric composition, they always felt a little bit differently because the structure of them was different, but the Ozone Seamless is very different from all of those other materials. So it's an entirely new seamless material. I would say the construction of it is kind of more similar to Revivals based on some of the panel detailing, but they have some other kind of ribbed contour details that remind me maybe a little more of the Halos. So let's do an up-close fabric comparison of all of the fabrics. Okay, let's do a quick comparison of all of these. So as you can see, they have the back rise seam, as do the new Ozones, but the Ozones have the same 3-tiered waistband that the Amplifys have. Just to show that this new one, you can still kind of see a teeny bit of marl to it, but it's not nearly as pronounced as either of the other Revivals or Amplifys. Panel detailing is also a little bit different on the Ozones than the Revivals. It seemed that you couldn't really see like the dot detail as much on the Revivals, but these ones look like more distinct dots. The fabric seems like a little more cool to the touch, denser on the Ozones, and a big thing is that these do not collect a lot of pet fur. Sometimes the Amplifies can really cling to pet fur. As we can see right here, we got a little pet fur. I felt like the Ozones, the pet fur just wipes right off. So these are a little more pet fur friendly as well. And then we have the fronts. First of all, the Ozone Seamless is now the highest rise out of all of these. These are a 10-inch rise. Amplifies are around an 8-inch, and Revivals were pretty high as well, but around a 9.5. And we can see Revivals do have that front seam, no front seam on the Ozones, no front seam on the Amplifies. And you do have that seamless transition of the waistband. And yeah, it's kind of hard to tell the fabric differences, but definitely a difference in feel. So I will say this new Ozone Seamless material is not as stretchy as the other seamless material that Alphalete usually uses. When you stretch a pair of Amplifies, it feels like the stretch could go on forever. Like even when I reach like the end of the stretch, I feel like I could keep going. And I never feel restricted in these leggings at all, not even in the crotch. I know that there's a scrunch, which can feel a little tight sometimes, but I truly never feel like restricted in a pair of Amplifies. The stretch of this new seamless feels like it has like a more definitive like stop, and you can kind of feel that when you're wearing it as well. When it gets to a kind of tighter point, like for me, like my hips are my largest measurement, it feels just like a little bit tighter around there and almost just a little bit of stiffness. And also in the bottom of the shorts, while it's still stretchy, you do just feel that kind of like slight stop in the fabric. So definitely have less stretch than the Amplifies. Okay, let's get into the individual pieces. So first, and probably my favorite thing, are the Ozone shorts. So you guys know that I will rant day and night about how 4-inch shorts, we have too many of them. But these Ozone shorts, they are a 5.5-inch inseam. Alphalete reports a 5.5-inch inseam. When I measure them, I really get more of a 5-inch. But either way, we have a little bit of extra length, which just like, finally, my thighs just needed an extra inch or two. So these are made of that recycled material, and they just have a couple features that kind of pull from Alphalete's previous seamless leggings. So first of all, we have the 3-tiered compressive waistband, and it's also tapered, and this is just like the Amplify. So these felt very similar to the Amplify in the waistband. They still have the embroidered Alphalete logo, and they're pretty basic in the front, a little ribbed detailing, but they also have this ribbed detail along the bottom of the short. So this kind of ribbed detail reminds me more of the Halo leggings, but then this almost panel detailing here that kind of curves around the glutes reminds me of the Revivals. So that panel detailing kind of just curves around the glutes here to add a little contour and make it a bit more flattering. They have no front seam, whereas something like the Alphalete Revivals do have a front seam, but they did add a back rise seam to kind of get rid of the unit butt effect. But I'm not sure I loved the execution because the seam just kind of like goes up, and this almost just looks like a little bit unfinished to me. I know the waistband is seamless and it's not sewn on, so it's easier for them to add that back rise seam onto a Revival legging because the waistband has a stitch that sews it on. But for these new Ozone Seamless, the waistband goes seamlessly from the shorts to the waistband, so it kind of leaves that seam just not really having a definitive place to end. It doesn't really bother me when I'm wearing it, but for my super detail-oriented people, this may bother you. And then we just have a regular kind of small little crotch gusset here. So here are the shorts. So we have a nice high rise here. The waistband feels nearly identical to the Amplify waistband, so I'm getting a good amount of compression here. Definitely for the shorts, true to size, but if you're in between, I would size up. For the waist and the thighs, these both feel like some more snug areas. So these are totally seamless, no front seam, and you can see the contour detailing from the side and back comes around to the front of the short. So this contour detailing, not a ton of horizontal stretch, and we do have that in the bottom of the short. So this part is kind of the restricting factor here. I feel like for me, it's okay, but I feel like I've seen some people where it squishes them a little bit here. So in terms of thick thigh friendly, I would say like medium friendly to thick thighs, but not as friendly as the Amplify shorts. Overall compression is about a medium. Again, it's not like super compressive or super thick, but because it doesn't have quite as much stretch as the Amplifies, just feels a little more compressive. And I do just feel maybe like a little bit of stiffness in the seams back here. And then we move on to the back. So I feel like in order to make these flattering on the glutes, I had to pull quite a bit of fabric up the leg, which caused me to lose a little bit of the length. And I know you guys were worried that they wouldn't be flattering on the glutes. I think they're still a medium high on the booty scale. They have this contour detailing, which gives the glutes kind of just like a rounder look. They do have the seam up the back, so you are able to get just like a teeny bit of glute separation with that. And the waistband is well above the glutes. So I'm still going with medium to high on the booty scale. You kind of see the seam just kind of like randomly ends there. And because with seamless shorts, I feel like I end up pulling a lot of the fabric to be kind of like up here and in the glute area. I feel like I lost some of the length to the point where with the 5-inch inseam, I still definitely got rolling during my workouts. So these were not roll proof for me personally. It totally depends on your legs and everything, but I found these just like a tad short for me. I was still getting probably just as much rolling as I do get with the Amplify 4.5-inch shorts. So these definitely weren't roll proof for me. Maybe they would have been better if I wore them like a little bit longer down like this, but then I just feel like they're not as flattering on the glutes, and I don't know, they just didn't feel quite as comfortable to me in this way. So they might not roll on you, but they did on me. One more thing to mention, all of Amplify's seamless, I find them to be definitely like a softer seamless, as opposed to like a more itchy seamless, like something with like a stiffer marl. So I've always liked their seamless, but overall I love that they're doing a slightly longer short. I like what they're doing here and offering a no scrunch option for some people who think that the Amplifies are a little bit too much. I still think they're really great shorts, super lightweight for summer. Just wanted to pop on the yellow, and I don't say this much, but these are a commando only short. You can see my nude underwear underneath these, even while standing. So when I worked out in the gym with these, I did go commando. I don't love doing it, but I'll do it if I have to. So yeah, definitely not the most opaque. And I also feel like the yellow is just like maybe a little bit stretchier than the green, and that's kind of consistent with the rest of the colors because I felt like the blue was most compressive, and I tend to find that colors with like the most dye in them, like the darkest colors, are always a little bit more stiff than the very light colors. Next are the Ozone Seamless leggings. So these are a 25-inch inseam, and for the Alphalete Amplify leggings, they're also not like the perfect length for me. They're like a little more ankle length. I think they're more of like a 26-inch inseam, but those have a ton of vertical stretch. These ones, I just didn't feel like I had the same amount of vertical stretch. So these were really more of an ankle length legging on me. These have the same situation going on as the shorts. They have the 3-tiered waistband, they have the seam that goes up the back, and then some contour and panel detailing that just scoops under the glutes, and some more ribbed detailing at the bottom of the leggings. Okay, and here are the seamless leggings. So this lavender color I feel like fits me. It's a little bit better than the blue. That one felt a little more snug, but I do feel like it takes a while to adjust these. So I like to get them to a certain place where my glutes feel contoured and that I have enough fabric to make these nice and opaque and not feel too tight squatting in them. And to do that, you really got to pull them up. But as you can see, like there's definitely some like resistance to my pulling up. And I think that's just because this fabric just isn't quite as stretchy as the Amplify material. So that being said, very similar to the shorts, nice compressive waistband, medium compression overall, true to size, but if you're in between, I would size up. No front seam, these are a seamless legging, and we have just some contour detailing. Some of the ribbing goes down the front here. The panel detailing curves under the glutes. We get a little bit of cellulite coverage, so I'm gonna say about like medium cellulite friendly, but not fully cellulite proof. About the same medium to high on the booty scale. I still think you get a nice little contour around the glutes, and you have that seam that helps a bit, and the waistband goes above the glutes as well. Then you have a little more ribbed detailing at the bottom of the legs here. So in terms of durability of this seamless, I actually found it to be a little more resistant to any snags than the Amplify material. The Amplify material, if you even think about having Velcro near you, you have a snag. These ones, I used my glute band today and I don't see any like remnants of it, and I felt like I really like, you know, used my nails to get these on and everything, and they still look totally fine. So I think that they're a little bit more durable of a seamless, but they're not quite as stretchy or naked feel, and I definitely feel a little bit of tightness and resistance when I squat and bend my knees. And as we said before, these are kind of more of an ankle length on me. Then we have the Ozone Crop Bra, and this one is truly a cropped bra because it has a space for cup pads in there. So the cup pads, they're in. And Alphalete has so many little tops like this that are like kind of a high neck cropped length, like their ultra soft Thrive tank, things like that. But they're just single layers that you have to wear like a bra underneath. They should make everything like this because listen, I felt supported in this. I didn't have to wear a bra underneath, so it wasn't too many layers for me. I hate wearing too many layers at the gym. So I love that they took the opportunity to just add the cup pads in here to make this an actual bra. So that being said, it is seamless, so it does not have a seam to separate the cup pads. So when you're not wearing this, the cup pads can go like a little wonky, but usually when bras are on, the cup pads kind of stay where they're supposed to be. So we have a vinyl logo here, a crew neck detail, and some contour details that match the leggings throughout the bra. Okay, so here's the crop bra. I would say that all of the colors, with the exception of the yellow, you're totally fine with the cup pads. The yellow, we'll try it on in a minute, but you can definitely see the cup pads in the yellow pretty distinctively, but I have a little trick for that. I just feel like the seamless is really working for this. Sometimes I don't love their seamless bras, but this one with the coverage, we got a nice full coverage, kind of scoops away from the shoulders, but I really wouldn't say that I have any side boob here. A little extra ribbed portion right below the bust, so it gives me a little extra compression, and support is about a medium support here. So I feel nicely contained. In terms of sizing, I would say true to size, but if you're in between, you can really go either way, but I personally would probably size down if in between because there's no harsh elastics and all you're gonna get is a little extra compression and a little more support. So you can see we have the cup pads in here. We can see a slight outline in this color. We have the vinyl logo and it's a crew neck here. It doesn't really go up onto the neck, but it goes right to it. Definitely secured in this, and I really liked the vibe of having like something that looks like a tank but has the cup pads built in. And then the back has some more little contour detailing. There are no parts of this bra that cut into me. Everything is really soft, so it's not cutting in around my lats around here. It's not cutting into my traps or my neck or the bra band, so it's a very like soft, comfortable bra, but it still provided a good amount of support. So I actually really liked this one. I love this color so much. I think it's so beautiful, but you can just really see the cup pads through. I think maybe I put a different pair of cup pads in here because the other ones have white cup pads, which really showed through the yellow, but I just put in a pair of nude cup pads. They're actually kind of better. Either swap these out with a pair of nude cup pads, or what I did for my photos that I took in these was I took the cup pads out and I layered it inside both layers of the fabric, because with this top, since it has a space for cup pads, there's 2 layers of fabric. So the cup pad was placed between those layers before. I placed it underneath and I couldn't see it as much, or when I actually went to the gym in these, I just took the cup pads out entirely and I still felt supported. So definitely not the most ideal situation. So if that bothers you, stay away from this color, but I feel like I was able to make it work. We also have the Ozone high neck long sleeve. So this one does not have a built-in bra or anything. It's just a single layer seamless top, kind of the usual. It's got some contour details down the side. This one has like a slightly elevated neckline, so it's almost kind of a little bit of a mock neck, long sleeves, and a crop length. Here is the mock neck. This feels like a lot with this sports bra underneath, so I would probably choose like a regular sports bra, maybe with a little less coverage, but I already had the purple one on, so that's what we're doing. So we have the logo in the center here, and this definitely goes significantly higher up than the tank. So definitely like a true little mock neck situation here. It does go maybe like a centimeter longer than the sports bra, and it's snug enough to not reveal the sports bra underneath. It's feeling pretty, I don't know, I feel kind of warm in this, probably just because it's hot and now I'm wearing long sleeve and low pants. But yeah, definitely a little bit snug in the arms. Still pretty stretchy, so I think you could stick true to size, but it's going to be pretty snug. So if you want it to be not quite as snug, maybe choose a size up. And then just some contour details along the back. I'm not a huge fan of cropped long sleeves. There's also the Ozone Racer Tank, so I'm super excited they brought in a full-length tank. It's just a single layer, has some contour detailing, with that same vinyl logo here. Although the colors are a little limited on this one, which was a bit of a bummer, but they do have at least 3 colors, I believe, and in some neutrals, so at least there still is that option for anyone looking for a little more coverage. So I knew this tank wouldn't work with this sports bra crop tank underneath, but I just wanted to show you in case you accidentally put this on. You got this cute little look. Okay, I'm gonna put a normal bra on. Okay, so here is the seamless top. I actually kind of love it. I feel like I haven't had a top like this in a while, and it's just nice to have like a nice little slim fitted seamless tank. So up at the top, I'd say like medium coverage. We still scoop around here and around here, so it's not the fullest coverage, but you will be wearing a bra under this. It's just one single layer of the seamless material. It's pretty stretchy, and it is a full length, and it kind of scoops around the side here and goes a little bit lower in the front and a little lower in the back. And this is for sure a full length, covers a lot of the leggings, and I would say it's true to size. It's going to be pretty snug in your true size, so if you don't want it to be super slim, snug fitting like this, I would size up. And definitely comfortable overall. I'm not getting any places where it's cutting into me, and we just have a simple racer back. Then we have just some tees. So this is the Dynasty long sleeve. These are made of a 94% cotton, 6% spandex, and it's just kind of a soft to the touch, cottony but stretchy shirt. And it's like a semi-cropped boxy fit. And the Dynasty one has the Dynasty logo here, which is the circle and the A. All right, here is the long sleeve. It's like a mid-cropped length. The sleeves are full length on me, as well as just an overall relaxed fit. So I would go true to size. I feel like if I sized up, it might be a little bit too boxy, and if I size down, it might be a little snug on the bust, but it also has stretch to it, which is really nice. It's a nice lightweight, kind of cooler feeling cotton. Then this one has this little circle logo and no details on the back. There's also the Dynasty short sleeve, so same as the long sleeve, except it is short sleeves. I'm wearing this one in the green as well. This one's probably my favorite. All right, so here is the tee. It's definitely a little bit of a boxy, oversized fit, so I don't think there's a need to size up. It's not tight on my bust either, so I feel like very true to size. Just a crew neck detail, has the logo here. The back is plain, and there is a hem at the bottom of the crop, so it's not like a raw cut edge or anything. And I would say this is like a mid-length crop. A longer crop might go like a little bit over the top of the legging waistband, but some of Alphalete's crops have been like super short on me, so this is even wearing a normal bra, which kind of brings the crop up a little bit. So I think this is a really good length. This material also feels nice for summer because it's not quite as heavy as like a thick cotton like the t-shirt we're going to be talking about after this, but it's lightweight and has stretch to it. And then the core long sleeve crop tee. This one just says Alphalete written across the chest in a kind of matching color, so it's not super noticeable. Okay, here is the long sleeve. This is about the same cropped length, so kind of a mid-length. And when I raise my arms, I'm wearing a normal bra under this. You might see like a teeny peek, but I wouldn't really feel super exposed. The sleeves are a full length on me, and it's all a relaxed fit, so still true to size. If you're in between, you can go either way, but keep in mind it also has stretch to it, so it's gonna be hard to feel like truly tight. Just has a crew neckline, and the logo feels thicker than the vinyls on the seamless tops, but still not very heavy. And I like that this one is tonal with the color of the shirt because it's not super in your face about the branding. Then you have the ombre Learn, Dream, Be More tees. I think this one's pretty big. This one is, okay, so they're unisex, and this is a medium, so they definitely run a little big, and I'm probably going to crop this one because I just don't like when my shirts are totally full length. Like, I just never wear like huge t-shirts. I'm not a pump cover gal. I'm just not, but I'll still find a use for it. It's nice to have a big tee. Okay, here is the More tee. So I feel like width-wise, it's actually not huge. Like, it's actually like skimming over the top of my bust. So If you want it to be like super boxy oversized, I would size up at least 2 sizes. But it's definitely long. Like, we're covering most of my glutes back here and just very long overall. And I know people like to wear these long shirts for pump covers, but as someone who carries more of their weight in like the lower half, like my legs, I feel like when I wear a huge boxy thing up top and then the only part of me that's exposed is like my largest part, it's just not super flattering for me. So I like to wear something that's like a little more cropped to kind of define my waist a bit more. So shall we crop this like right now? I think we should. Okay, so we just have to make sure we're cropping it below the letters here. And the only detail in the back is like the world logo at the top. I always kind of start long and work my way up. Also, since it's going to be cropped with like a raw cut edge, it tends to roll a little bit, so I just tend to make it like a little bit longer. So let's see, top of my legging waistband's here, maybe like here. That would be fine. Okay, let's do like right there. We've marked our cropping point, and then to complete the crop, we're just gonna cut right along where I put it here. It doesn't need to be perfect because it just doesn't. We're not striving for perfection here. And we're cropped. Here's the result. A little bit cropped. Shows off the waist a little bit more. I probably could crop it a little bit more, but I know like as soon as I stretch it out a little bit, it might roll up. So here's your sign to crop your oversized tees, because this is still covering me completely, but I just feel like it's a little bit more flattering. And then the slides. So they're coming in 3 colors. I got the light blue and I have been wearing them as you can see. And I've only ever had 1 pair of slides. I'm really more of a flip-flops person, but it's kind of nice to have the slides when I'm wearing socks and just want to like slide them on. And the other slides that I have are not very soft, but these ones are actually like super cushy. They have a good amount of like squishiness, and they're also like lined with a softer material on the inside, so it doesn't like scratch your feet as well. And then the top looks kind of like a faux leather. And I just got my normal size 8 in the slides and they fit, so seems like they're true to size. All right guys, that's it for the video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you made it this far. I think in terms of favorites, probably the tank bra thing and the shorts. I don't like them more than the Amplifies. If they were 5.5-inch Amplifies, I'd get rid of half the things in my closet. These ones still weren't totally perfect for me. I think I just prefer the Amplify material. The scrunch, I've just really grown to love having the scrunch. And I really like these little casual crop tees. They're a nice lightweight material. So that's it. If you're shopping the launch, make sure to use code Catherine. It supports me and gives you 10% off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.